New Thought Media Network proudly presents The High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour with Reverend Cynthia and Reverend Skip. Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour. I'm Reverend Skip Jennings.
And I'm Reverend Cynthia.
You're all up into your... Yeah, I know what you're doing. You're posting on the social media. I love you that we're live. Caught you.
Oh my goodness.
I have to say this is my favorite time of the week. What's going on, sis? How you living? How you feeling? What's going on?
Oh my goodness. You know, there's always something, and sorry about that.
It's no sorry. This is live. This is the real deal here. Like we were saying before we got on here, this is our service commitment to our New Thought community, to our church, to our spirituality. And I just love this. This is like our weekly service. Can we look at it as our weekly, community service? And this is where we just teach,
Right? It's like we get to just share of ourselves, our experiences, what we've learned, what we've walked through.
Yes. So good. So welcome everyone to the High Vibe Hour. And again, this is the podcast or service or whatever, where we get to really just have some real one-on-one time. I call it my practitioner session on steroids, and we get to go deep if we're willing to, and we invite you to go deep as well. And we always kick off each and every episode by just saying, how we living, how you feeling the vibe. So how you feeling the vibe this week, sis?
I'm feeling it. I feel like I'm discovering new aspects of myself.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
Say more.
Sometimes when we're going to be talking about getting stuck, right? Or being stuck.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm aware that there are certain limiting beliefs or patterns or habits that I've been working on shifting for a long time, consciously. And then all of a sudden there's oh my God, it just feels doable now.
Oh, I love that.
Right. When that starts to happen.
It feels doable. How's your week been? Anything fun in Vegas? Anything happening?
There, so there's probably always fun going on in Vegas.
Yeah. There is. There's always something going on in Vegas.
But I'm actually heading out to LA. I'm going to do a road trip with Willard, who I've known as long as I've known you.
Yeah.
And we'll be heading out to Agape for Sunday service.
Now, wait a minute. Okay, you said road trip. That brings me back to some memories. Have you done road trips before, yo? Have you done some road trips before?
Oh my gosh. They're usually some of the best times, right?
Listen, for me, right, I can road trips can go either way. They can be really amazing. Mm-hmm. And it can be filled with so many lessons I need to learn about my ego. So I love a good road trip.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to spending time with Willard because there's been a couple of years where we haven't seen each other as much. Mm-hmm. So this will be a really great catch up for us.
So hold on, Willard, for people listening who don't know, Willard's one of our very, very good friends that we have known from Agape International Spiritual Center. But y'all live in the same town. So how are you spending less time with Willard?
Because as you know, they're the life of a minister or a spiritual person or a tax preparer that Willard is.
Yes, he is. He's my tax guy. Tax guy. I'm trying to get my stuff together. Are you still trying to get your stuff together to give, or did you get it in already?
I am done.
No.
Yes.
Oh, sister, you need to pray for me. I have some stuff around taxes. Girl, I am procrastination. I'm about to email Willard saying, could you please put in the extension now?
Right. That's one of those things that I'm talking about where it always, there's a limiting belief around it having to be hard. Yeah. And then being able to sit into a different energy around it and watching it organize itself quickly and easily. It doesn't have to be hard.
Right. Right. That's part of what we're talking about today is being stuck. And obviously, taxes for me, there's some energy that needs to be healed. I
Yeah.
can tell you, like every tax season, and here it is, I get I get the willies, I get the upset stomach, I get the oh my god, here we go. And most of the time it's never really, I've only had one really surprise tax, like which blew me away. I'm like going, hold up, this
Mhm.
doesn't feel right. But I just said okay, and I just took a what do you call that when you pay on a payment plan?
Oh, yeah, an installment plan?
An installment plan. But it took me years to pay off that tax debt. I was like, so there it is. See how you just helped me get to it? That's
Yeah,
the block.
that's the block.
That's the block. That's the block. So now I understand why you don't see Willard, because it is tax season.
Yeah, he's incredibly busy, right?
Yeah. And you're incredibly busy as a minister as well. You're doing your thing. I see you online, getting everything. How's that trip coming? The trip to Bali? How's it expanding? How's it happening?
It's coming along. I'm hearing a lot of people saying, I'm going to be on that trip. I'm like, I am holding the space for you to come on this trip with me. There's
Come on.
right.
Sign up now.
There are people that have never left the country and they want to make this their first experience.
Right.
And I'm like,
Right.
by all means.
By all means. Come on. Come on. Pack them bags. We're going to Bali.
We're going to Bali.
Absolutely.
How's your week been?
I'm feeling the vibe has been still, I'm trying to maneuver through this very busy, I'm going to say busy, I'm saying very full schedule
Yes.
with being a full-time ministry we do, finishing out my book. I had to do a couple of changes in my introduction or my dedication, and I wanted to switch it around for the about the author, because things have shifted now.
Right.
So my page about the author has changed, but our publisher, Sean will be here this week. He's coming into LA.
Really?
Yeah, so hopefully he's going to come to the Wednesday Wake Up in North Hollywood. He says he's going to come out for that, live, if you want to catch it on Wednesdays here on Facebook. You can catch it at North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. I'm grateful that I get to see my publisher and we get to hang out for a little bit. He's your publisher too.
He is, and they're actually having a writer's retreat, not this weekend, but the following in LA, right?
Right, exactly. Are you going to stay for that, or are you going to just...
No, I have to come back. But if there's anyone out there listening that has ever wanted to publish a book and be held in a certain way, in a certain consciousness, in love and support, that would be a wonderful opportunity for them.
Absolutely. I go to the Good House. Is it goodhouse.com?
I believe so.
Yeah, if you go to thegoodhouse.com, search it. It was previously called That Guy's House, but
Yes.
look for thegoodhouse.com and find out how you can get your book out there. And they are always looking for spiritually minded and authors. And that's where two of my books are there from them. And I'm grateful and your book is from them. Are you writing another book right now?
I'm making space to begin that. Yes.
Ooh. So this one's a good one for you too.
Yes, it is.
This is what we're talking about, to be stuck no more. So feeling the vibe this week has still been, how do I make space for me?
Mm-hmm.
How do I make space because I am literally working 7 days a week, and I've been working 7 days a week for a while, and it's not sustainable.
No.
So I have, North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. I work with a company that helps people who are not insured to find insurance. Those who are living with HIV and living with hepatitis and any type of STDs, we want to find insurance, and those to prevent HIV.
Wow.
And so here's why I'm still working with this company, because right now our government wants to remove all fundings for any preventative health for those who are, looking to prevent being HIV positive.
Mm-hmm.
So the companies I'm working for right now is here to help to support that. not to support taking away fundings, but as the government is looking to take away fundings for healthcare and for all these things, we got to find a way to find fundings for people who are underserved. So that's why I'm still working with American Exchange. I'm also still working, I love teaching my yoga and I teach for Equinox and I'm on Insight Timer. So I have literally 4 entities that I work in and I say, okay, this is where we get to step into our calling in so many different ways. I don't see it in being compartmentalized. I just believe that there are different areas I show up as Rev Skip.
I was just thinking about that this morning because of the various, like the different things that you do.
Yeah.
So the things that you do are different, but who you be is the same.
You better preach.
Right.
I receive all that.
Mm-hmm.
I receive all that. So what is we used to call it the side hustles.
Yeah.
I don't like that word side hustle because it just has a little energy behind it. But what are your side hustles, yo? What's your side hustle?
Oh my goodness. I'd love to see. I'm going to click on the comments.
What is your side hustle? I love your side. What is it?
I know for me, it used to be coordinating vacations for people. I was a travel agent.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I also used to help people with their divorces, right? I used to do paralegal work on the side. So now it's like, so it's shifted to where I'm going to lead this retreat to Bali, right? I'm like, I'm going on the vacation too.
Well, I've been there. I'm going to call it for us as facilitators on a trip to Bali. We get to enjoy it, but we're in constant, we're moving, we're organizing, but we do get to enjoy it. So it's like a workation.
It is, right? And watching people decompress and then access whatever transformation is available for them is a wonderful thing to witness.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, what else? I know you do clients as well. You have clients.
I do coaching, right? I do sessions. I also do energy healing work with people, help them block subconscious interference, help them clear their chakras remotely from home. And speak and write and retreats.
You do it all. You do it all. You do it all. And so we come back to the original feeling the vibe is finding the balance, finding the time for myself. And that's what it's been the last, 3 weeks since we've actually started talking about this on our show. If I'll go back and listen to 3 episodes back, we're talking about work-life balance. And I'm still participating in that, trying to feel my way through it, I should say, through this lesson. Feel my way through this lesson, You know
what, Skip? It's funny because I was covering for Reverend Jason on Our Daily Prayer Call last week.
Yeah.
And one of the people that that show up for that on a daily basis was like, when is Reverend Jason coming back? And I said, I don't know. He didn't share with me. And I went into describing how taking time off from our everyday routine is part of our spiritual practice because it allows us to recharge, right? To refresh, to fill ourselves up, and then be able to come back to all the things that we say yes to, and to be able to serve and participate from this level of fullness, not depletion, not emptiness.
Yes. Very, 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 very powerful. Very powerful lesson. Absolutely. Well, today we're talking about the visioning process. Actually, our episode today, we're calling it the Unstuck episode. How do you get unstuck? And we're using, there are many, many tools for getting unstuck. So we're going to invite us to feel into it because a lot of people, I don't think they know what that block or that stuckness is. I think I'm making up new words as we go along. The stuckness. I love that. What's the stuckness you experienced? And I love the stuckness. So if you could give a definition, what is unstuck? What does stuck mean for you? What is that block? What is that energy?
Feeling frozen, right? Not being able to move forward when there's something that you want to do, and either your mind starts to tell you why it's not a good idea, or B, you literally can't seem to take action because you don't know where to begin.
Mm. Mm.
So to me, that's what stuckness may feel like.
Yeah, I love the fact that you said feeling, because it is definitely a feeling, because it's not the truth. If we look at our spiritual teachings and principles, there is no stuckness in God. God can't be stuck. God is always expanding. And because we are one as God, we are God in the flesh, then our true nature is never stuck. But it's impossible. But then there are some times where you feel like I'm not moving forward.
Mm-hmm. So, for example, we are made of the universe, right? We are a part of the universe, and the universe is not stagnant. So that means you and I, we're not designed to stay the same. We are designed to move, to create, to evolve, because we are one with it all, right?
Mm.
So when we stay stationary in some way, whether with our beliefs, with our careers, it starts to generate a level of discomfort. And as uncomfortable as that may seem, we might want to label it bad, but we could look at it as a cue from the universe saying it's time to get up and out of this comfort zone and move into the next unknown.
This is very, 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 very important. When do you know that a lesson is done? When you're feeling that space of, oh yeah, I'm not learning anything anymore, or I'm still, there's always much to learn,
Yes.
always much to learn, but there is a feeling tone that a lesson is done. There's a place where you've been contemplating for a long, long time. I need to have a new job, and you're just not being fulfilled. That could be a feeling tone of feeling I feel stuck. Another thing that I want us to look at too, and we're going to talk about visioning in a moment, but visioning, when you and Michael Beckwith talks about this in his book, that when you are visioning, you catch God's vision and you see where you're going, but you're not quite there yet. And then you look behind you where you used to be, and you're not there either. And you're right in the center. You're right in the middle, and you feel like you're alone. You feel like God's not listening to you. You feel stuck. That could be considered a dark night of the soul.
So there's, how we have seasons in nature: spring, summer, fall, and winter. Yeah. We as human beings have cycles of evolution. Mm-hmm. So our spring is called creation cycle. Summer is called the sustaining phase, where you and I have created something and then we are sustained by it for a period of time. And then here comes fall, when everything that we spent our time creating starts to come undone, and we freak out because we're like, but I put so much effort into this and it's falling apart. But that's fall. And then the final cycle is winter, which shows up as the void, where we feel alone and it's vast and dark, right? Yeah. And the invitation is recognize that we move through these evolutionary cycles, and can we sit back like a fetus in a womb when everything else has fallen apart? There's nothing left to hold on to, because the universe is preparing you for the next iteration, a new birth.
Absolutely. I love that. I really love that. I've been switching this language around stuck and feeling stuck to a sacred gestation.
Yes.
Something is always seeking to emerge through this time. We might not see it. There might not be an outpicturing that we can see of it, but it does not mean that it's not happening. And so in the sacred gestation time, can you recall a time where you're in the middle of the sacred gestation time? What did you feel and what came from that?
Oh, I remember, for example, there's always been a hesitancy to be in public view. Yeah. Right. So that has been a growing edge for me for a while, because of trauma, fear, whatever, right, gets embedded in the nervous system in the body. So then spirit will bring about opportunities for me to step forward, right, to come into public view. And I'll sense the fear. And one of the most wonderful experiences that I had was 3 years ago. I was sitting on my couch meditating in my office, And I heard Spirit say, "You still don't trust me, do you?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So it was leading me to cultivating a deeper sense of trust in life and in God and in myself. Right. Because it
Yeah.
leaves us breadcrumbs. It gives us clues as to what is next. And it's like, follow me. I know that you're scared, but I've got you. Follow.
Mm,
And then
mm.
what I end up discovering is like the next version of me is on the other side of the experience that I say yes to. And there's like a deeper embodiment of more of myself and more trust and faith in God itself.
Wow. How'd you get through
Gritting my teeth.
it? I love that. You went fighting, child. You were fight. You were like,
Gritting my
I
teeth,
ain't
dragging
doing
my
this.
feet,
I ain't
legs.
doing this.
Yes.
I love it. I remember a time where most of my, I would say, my sacred gestation periods have been around projects,
Okay.
like writing. I think it was my third book. Writing my third book, and that was really part of a time. I remember I felt so stuck. I was using that word. Can I read a little bit of what I wrote?
Yes,
Okay, so
please.
this is from the little book for big transformation, and is available on Amazon or in Barnes. It's still at Barnes and Noble. And I wrote this. This is day one. It's 31 days of intervisions and spiritual practices. This is day one. This is how important this was to me. And I wrote this, and I quote Michael Beckwith in this. And I start off in this. It's a daily devotions for 31 days. And I entitled it "Stuck No More." And I quote Michael Beckwith, and his quote is this: "We are unlimited beings, and we have no ceiling. The capacity, talents, gifts, the power that is within us, every single individual, is unlimited." Michael Beckwith, y'all. I write this. Taken from the wisdom teachings of Michael Beckwith, founder of the Agape International Spiritual Center, the quote above is one of my favorites. "How grateful I am to know that every moment, including even those within our inner growth, appears to have gone into hibernation, into what I've come to call the sacred gestation, during which we begin preparing to step into our next evolution.
Mhm.
Our willingness to enter this intimate tryst with our higher self moves us into the direction that we are being guided to both embrace, release, and release our journey, our journey to self-realization." So what I was talking about here is that I was fighting it. I
Mhm.
kept saying, "I can't believe I'm having a block. I can't believe I'm having a block. I can't write this book." And I was not embracing, there's something very sacred that's happening here.
Mhm.
The depths of our commitment to our inner growth sets in motion a clearing out of outgrown beliefs. That's where I was: outgrown beliefs, opinions, conditions, and patterns of behavior which no longer serves us. When I got that, I'm going, something's clearing here to make room. And here's the aha I got.
Mhm.
At this junction, it is vital to ask two questions. What qualities am I calling to cultivate, and what must I release for the alignment of spirit's vision for the next stage of my spiritual growth? It's
Mhm.
like, what am I going to cultivate to get through this gestation time? And for me, was creativity. So I started to cultivate. What I began to release was my limited beliefs that, no one's going to read this book. No one's going to buy this book. No one's going to do the limited beliefs. And that caused my stuckness to be
Mm.
unstuck. Another skillful evolutionary tool, no matter how long we've been on the spiritual path, is the practice of the beginner's mind. I had to go back to the beginner's mind.
Mhm.
The beginner's mind keeps you open, receptive, teachable, freeing yourself from the past experience that can affect your present. I realized I was programming my present with my past. So I had to go back to the beginner's mind. You may want to use the set aside prayer. This is my favorite prayer in the whole entire world. I
Mhm.
set aside, God, help me set aside everything I think I know about ... whatever you want to put in there. So
Mhm.
for me was, God, help me set aside everything I think I know about writing a book.
Wow.
So I may have a new experience in writing a book. Be willing to release everything that no longer serves, creating space for transformation and new ideas to be birthed. Now state with authority, I am stuck no more. And it was one of those things where I just had to do what I've been teaching my practitioners students. Sometimes we got to argue our way out of our limited beliefs.
Yes.
We were sitting, I'm thinking, oh my goodness. That word, I am stuck no more, is a part of the argumentative treatment.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm feeling stuck, but because I'm in God, I am stuck no more. And I got to tell you, sis, I might not have believed it right away, but eventually there was a huge shift.
That reading that you had, that writing for that day one. Hey, Shane.
Hey, Shane, what's happening?
I feel like it's something that we would benefit to have posted like in the bathroom mirror as we're getting ready every day and read that to remind us, right? To support us as we continue to move, through our evolution, our growth, and our expansion.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
And Denise just joined us. Hey, Denise, how are you? Good to see you. Shane and Denise is on with us today. And we always say this, please drop your comments, join the conversation, drop some comments in the field so we can ask you have any questions about getting unstuck. You have any questions about the visioning process, where we're going to talk about after the break. If you have your own experiences you want to share with the family, because we are family, please share them in the comments. And I used to put post-it notes everywhere to remind me there's something good seeking to emerge, or I'm stuck no more. I believe it's a reminder to remember. Remember to remember.
Yes.
If I can just remember to remember, that's what it is.
And you know what I was thinking about yesterday as I was facilitating a session for younger individuals? I was letting them know that it's not about coming at life from our mind, right? That our higher self, our soul, had a plan, implemented a plan before we were even born into the physical body. So can we begin to cultivate a conversation with our higher self, and asking it, hey, can you clue me in on what we're up to? And allow that plan to unfold with ease and grace.
That sounds like a bit of what we do in that first question, or a visioning. What is your idea? What is your high? What is God? What is the highest idea for my life, for this individual? Let it be known to me.
Yes. Let me know what we're up to, please. The boots on the ground version of you would like to know.
Let me know what we're up to, please. I love that. Let me know what we're up to, please. That is so dope. That is so dope. So we're going to take a little bit of a break here at the New Thought Media Network. But we're talking about getting unstuck. We're talking about tools that we can use during this sacred gestation period. And as we are getting into the space and we're going into our little, I don't like the word commercial, but we are aligning with our advertisers and the network that we're on. I want you to think about some questions that you might have for us to drop in the feed. All right, y'all, we'll be right back.
New Thought Media Network is on the rise. We're looking to grow with you. Do you have technical, media experience, or perhaps a desire to learn? Are you willing to volunteer your precious time and attention? We share this message to benefit all. If you possess a computer with a camera and a microphone, we will share our knowledge with you. Behind the scenes or being the star, let us bless our one. Contact us at info@ntmedia.org.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the New Thought Media Network. This is the High Vibe Hour with Reverend Cynthia, and I'm Reverend Skip. And today we're talking about getting unstuck. We're talking about those times that we feel like nothing's happening and everything's happening. And we're going to dive deep into visioning this next part of this podcast. So one of the things that came to mind while the commercials were playing, I love our little ads for New Thought Media Network. One thing that came to mind was every time that there is a fork in the road, that's where I'm starting to feel really stuck. Like it could be graduation from high school. I felt like, well, what's happening? What's next? Definitely when we were graduating from ministerial school, practitioner training, the possibilities of looking for a new job, and you're actively looking for a new job and you're feeling things are not happening. I remember those distinctly. I remember the feeling of the fear of the future, which caused my own energetic blocks. When have you felt that come up in you?
For some reason, like a really big experience pops up right away. Right.
I love it. Tell me.
So I started dating a boy when I was 15, and then we had a child when I was 18, and I was 32 years old, still with him, very unhappy, right? And it had just never occurred to me that it was okay to divorce. But the thing about it was that I was afraid to take a chance on me. He used to tell me so often that I was naive and I would never make it on my own, and I believed it.
Yeah.
Right. So I hadn't even begun to experience what it meant to be me.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until the autoimmune condition showed up, and I started losing mobility, and I thought about being paralyzed in bed and in his care.
That's enough to get you moving. Like, ain't doing this. Ain't doing this.
And I finally said, I can't do this anymore. I have to go.
Yeah.
So.
That's enough. That is such a powerful story. I think we've all had experiences. I've been in relationships myself, and I didn't have an autoimmune deficiency. I was just like unhappy. And I had moved in, and thank you for the lesson. I knew the lesson was over, time to move out. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's time for me to get out of this space, and feeling like paralyzed. Like,
yes.
How do we do it? And it comes to mind, the last relationship I was in that I had moved in. No, actually, the one before that, I've moved in a couple times. Probably, the one that I remember was one Christmas, right before Christmas. My then partner had left and went to see his family, And he asked me to go, and I said, no, I'm not going to go because I got to work. I got to be here. I was doing some stuff for Agape. And I was like, no, and he had left, and I moved out the next day. I picked up all my stuff and I moved out. And that was like, it was either going to be now I was going to move, I was going to get off of my feet and move. Because I remember when he left, I was laying in bed going, okay, I'm going to either be here for the rest of my life or I'm going to get up and move. And as soon as he left, I started getting my stuff together. I mean, that was the quickest move I've ever done. It was like, I'm out. I'm done.
And how did you feel afterwards?
Scared. And then I felt shameful. I felt like I had a lot of shame because I snuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Literally snuck out. We were engaged and I was like, no, I can't do this. But I did cop up to it. I did go back to see him later on. To say, listen, I'm sorry, I just could not do this. And he knew that I was unhappy. He knew that I was unhappy. He knew that I wanted to find another solution. That was a drastic, but it was like, remember that, that saying that Michael teaches all the time. And I think even I read something, Ernest Holmes used to say it as well, was pain pushes until the vision pulls.
Yes.
And the pain pushed me. It pushed me.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about visioning and there are visioning techniques. And if you never heard about visioning, can you let people know about what visioning is, Rev?
Yeah. So like most people, I had created vision boards before encountering the visioning process, right? So like visualization or vision boards, you're organizing and collecting images of things that you would like to have in your life, right? Yeah. That's visualization. Visioning is a kind of like a guided meditation where we're asking certain questions so that we can come into alignment with God's vision for our life, the vision of the higher soul, higher self. And you could even use this like if you're trying to launch a business, right? And you want to come into alignment with the vision for the business itself. So you can use it in every area of your life, even if you want to come into alignment with the vision for the relationship that is meant for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And we also want to say that this was cultivated and downloaded and created by Michael Beckwith at the Agape International Spiritual Center. I always want to give him props because I know there's a lot of people teach the life visioning process or life visioning, and they never say where it came from.
Yeah.
And him being our teacher and our mentor, I want to just make sure we give him props. I love vision. There was a time that I visioned every day. There was a time I visioned for myself. And a lot of times you look at visioning as you can do it both for yourself, for a project you're on, for a big organization. Visioning has no limits. But I know that probably the most profound movement in my life have came out of visioning.
Mm-hmm. I am laughing because I met you, I believe, in the visioning class. You were TA.
I was a TA. I was a TA in the visioning class. Well, I'm going to laugh too because, my first vision class was with Reverend Coco Stewart at Agape International Spiritual Center. And, I remember receiving a vision. Check this out. The first vision I ever had, I just downloaded this vision. It was instantaneous. So I didn't see a movie playing, but it just felt like a movie. And I saw the vision of me being a minister in the pulpit, having multiple books and multiple out there. I was talking to people simultaneously all over the world. And this was before really the Zoom and the internet was happening, and Insight Timer wasn't happening yet, but I saw it. And I was like, nope, that's not me. That's not me. And it wasn't until I began to really surrender to the vision that it became to manifest. The five qualities we talk about at visioning is number one, be willing to sit down with vision, create a space for receptivity, because we start with unconditional love, creating that open space. And then there's a place where we must get into a place of surrender. Because if the surrendering to the vision that you're getting, understanding it comes in so many different ways, from pictures, from words. If we're not willing to surrender to it, then we begin to block it. We become stuck in the vision. And it's not up to us to figure out how the vision is going to be done. It is us to surrender to the vision, saying, I am an open vessel. I am God itself to demonstrate this vision. The fourth quality of a vision is discipline. And then once you fall in love with the discipline, we call it blisscipline.
Mm-hmm.
And after blisscipline, we say it's gratitude. We give thanks because it's already done in the mind of God. So we might as well give thanks for the vision. It's
Mm-hmm.
already done. So, Rev, will you kindly take us through a visioning process?
I would love that.
Oh, good.
All right. So I'm going to invite everyone to close their eyes and get comfortable in their seats. If you have something to write with nearby, just keep it handy. You can take notes as things are coming through, or you can wait until after the visioning to write things down. All right. So we're going to take a deep breath in. And you can even bring your hand to your heart. And I want you to think of a time when you felt unconditionally loved.
Mm.
It can be a memory with a grandparent. It can be the embrace of a parent. It can be a moment where you felt truly seen and understood. It could be a moment of you embracing your pet, your dog, your cat. A warm embrace with a partner, a deep conversation with a friend. Just a time when you were loved for simply being you. Nothing else was required other than that. You were loved because you exist. You allow this feeling to fill up your chest and begin to travel throughout your body, filling every cell, every limb, every tissue. And it is expanding and expanding to the point that it is going beyond the edges of your skin and actually filling up the room that you are sitting in. Filling the room from the floor to the ceiling, so that you are actually swimming in an ocean of divine love, an energetic ocean of unconditional divine love that buoys you, supports you, envelops you. And so allow that to permeate your mind, body, and soul. There's no separation between you and this love. You are one and the same. And as we hang out in this space, we begin by asking the first question: what is God's vision for my life? It can come through as a feeling, a thought, an image, a sound. We are open. We are available for this vision. And we move to the next question, which is, what must I become for this vision to manifest through me? as we become available to becoming the next version of ourselves. It requires that we let go of old ways of being, thinking, and perceiving. So, what must I release? Is the third question. What beliefs, what ways of being, what habits am I ready to let go of? We all come here to share of our gifts. Question number 4 is, what gifts and talents do I already possess that are here to support the vision in its unfoldment? What is unique about me? What has already been cultivated? What are my gifts? And the final question that I like to ask is an addendum to Reverend Michael's process, but it's like, is there anything else I need to know right now to assist the vision in its unfoldment? Anything else? The moment that we put these questions out into the universe, it sets it into motion, bringing about the guidance. And so I am grateful and thankful for our willingness to pose these questions, to engage with the universe, with the presence of spirit, with our higher self. I am grateful for the visioning process and Reverend Michael, for our willingness to surrender, to be available, to be the space through which this vision wants to unfold. And I'm grateful to know that everything that is required for the fulfillment of the vision is within the vision itself. And so there is a relaxing and an easing into this alignment with this vision. And knowing that it truly is already done in the heart and mind of spirit, we remain open and available to the guidance and everything that is required. And to know that truly this is what fulfillment feels like, to live from this place. And so knowing that it is already done, we bask in the gratitude for it all by saying, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Oh man, that was so amazing. You know what's good about that? Even taking the time just to stop, be still, and recognize that we're gaining information from our higher source. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was so good.
My pleasure.
I'm putting some information into the comments, so you guys might want to copy and paste that. But I want to share with you these 10 points that we've been kind of cultivating, so we realize what we've been really talking about. Just a little bit of recap, and our 10 points. Understanding your feelings. That's what we start off with. That being stuck is a feeling.
Yes.
It's really a reality, and we're not our feelings. Number 2, the power of awareness. When we become aware that we can take the next step, like writing an affirmation, I'm stuck no more, or saying the prayer, I'm stuck no more. You just experienced the life visioning process, which was masterfully done. And one thing I want you to recognize in this space, that we've opened up ourselves the door for more to come through. So maybe more will come through later on. There's a difference between visioning and visioning and the visioning and visualization, which was stated so well. Knowing that if we see it already in our mind, we're probably visualizing it. The visioning is being downloaded in a higher place. We also talked about spiritual practice leads to a momentum. So you can feel stuck, but if we get into the spiritual practice, we will feel a momentum that's happening. Letting go of letting go and surrendering to this time, the gestation period in our life. Taking action. The universe responds to action. So even if you're feeling stuck on writing a script, or you're feeling stuck with writing that book, just write. Write something every day. Just write. Just write something. Release your fears and doubts. Now, here's what I want to say to this. I'm going to turn this around a little bit. Fear is part of a divine experience. I believe it's part of the path. But when we stay in that fear, false evidence appearing real, that's where we get into some issues. So we get to release and let go and acknowledge I'm in fear. God, let me know what's going on here. Please tell me what's going on here. That's part of releasing the fear. I believe community and accountability is very, very important. Find your visioning partner. Find someone you can vision with. Find someone that you can be with. Find someone that will help you. And in this space, accountability is key. Find your prayer partner. I still have many prayer partners. So when you're feeling stuck, tap into community and live in that state. I love this. Live in the state of oneness. I'm one with God. And it takes the spiritual practices to get into that state. So these are tools that you can use to help develop out of your time of gestation.
I love that. Somebody said this. Reverend Michael was doing an interview on his podcast, and the woman he was interviewing said, "We don't see reality as it is. We see our belief about reality."
Yes.
Right? Because reality is that the universe is always unfolding and always providing. So I love that with these tools, we're cleansing our lens of perception that will allow us to experience the givingness of the universe.
And I'm going to piggyback on that. Another great statement, I think, from that same podcast. We don't just have to believe in God. We have to believe God.
Yes. We have to
believe God. We have to believe God. What is God saying? Do we believe it? What are these spiritual principles saying to us? Do we believe it? We can believe in a God. I believe in a God. God is there, but do we believe what God is saying to us?
Yeah. It's like, do I want to stay within the constraints of my limited mind, or do I want to be in agreement with the one mind?
Hello. Powerful. How are you using visioning right now to catapult you into your next space of being, I should say?
So right now it's like with the retreat to Bali, right? It's not about it unfolding the way I want it to, but it's about me coming into alignment with the vision of this trip.
Yeah.
What is right? This retreat is like its own entity, its own life. It's here to facilitate healing and transformation. And how can I be available to it and allow it to do what it's going to do for me and everybody else?
It's powerful. And I'm using it in a way of, and y'all get more information about the retreat, please go to cynthiaandrews.org/retreat, Bali retreat. Look at it as a beautiful page. I'm using it in a way that for my community more and more, where I'm at North Hollywood Church of Religious Science, and we're preparing to do some big events in April. We have a beautiful retreat for our practitioners and ministers, which David Alt's going to come and be our facilitator. I'm going to do a little yoga and movement and meditation. I'm also doing another retreat at the end of this month called Embracing Your Spiritual Practices. And that's going to happen at the end of the month. So I've been using it. How am I going to create these different things? Another way that we're doing it is that we are about to do my I always call it the induction ceremonies. No, my installation ceremony at the end of April. But we're also inviting a lot of great things are happening. So how are we going to expand through group experiences, community experiences? So I've been using visioning in that way. It's been very, 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 very powerful.
Right. So it's all about catching it, right? Because it's like, it's already out there. It's already in existence. Can we catch it? Can we become available to it?
Yes. Yes. Oh, Denise, look at that. Look at that. I try to think when I am scared that we are here as stewards of God, not just of the earth, but of the body, mind, relations, emotions. I remind myself of that when I am scared. Well, yeah, that's a good one.
Right.
That's a good one. You know, that's powerful. Thank you for that comment. Sis,
yes,
the time has flown by already.
No.
Yes, it has flown by already. So again, we're going to mention this retreat until it happens, until we fill it up and we sell out. There's still room for the retreat. You can go and find out more information about July 13th through the 24th. It's going to be a beautiful time to Bali. Please come. Go to cynthiaandrews.org /retreats in Bali. You'll find out more information. And where can people find you throughout social media? Where are you in social media?
I'm on Instagram at I am Cynthia and Breeze. I'm on YouTube at I am Cynthia and Breeze, and TikTok I am Cynthia and Breeze.
So how did I love I am Cynthia and Breeze. I love that. I love that you came up with that. That is so good. So good. And
it helps me to own who I am at every stage.
I love it. I love it. And people can contact you at cynthiaandbreeze at gmail.com.
Cindy Ambreeze. Yeah, Cindy with the Y.
Oh, Cindy with the Y. With the, we have to change that. Is that wrong? It's been going wrong the whole time. It's Cindy with the I.
Yeah, it's
CY.
CY.
I get it. I get it now. It's a done deal. Done deal. Y'all, you can find me on all social medias. I'm at Rev Skip Jennings and every social media. I've not been really participating. I've been doing a little bit of healing around social media. I am being pulled back into social media. Let me say the vision is pulling me. I'm not being pushed. I'm finally getting, so I've taken some time off, although we're on Facebook and YouTube, which is social media. But I've just not been doing my everyday posting. That's changing. I'm still in the place of healing from that. So follow me anyway. Some stuff is coming up. Also knowing that I just released, and I'm very happy about this, so I get a chance to talk about this. I just released a new course on Insight Timer. If you don't know what Insight Timer is, Insight Timer is the #1 free meditation app that's out there. Now there's a free side and there's a paid for side. So I have a new course called Transform Your Life with Affirmations and Mantras on Insight Timer, only on Insight Timer. So go and check that out. Join the app. It's so incredibly amazing app for meditation. And also, guys, understand this, that we are a part of a network, and our network is a New Thought Media Network. I need to pull this up because I always forget how to say this. Here we go. Please donate. This is a spiritual movement. This is a nonprofit. We are here to make a difference in the world. So we want you to donate by going to ntmedia.org/donate. And to help this, I want to say this network to continue to thrive, to expand, and to move forward. Again, it went very quick.
It really did.
It's like blink, 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 and we're done.
Now we're done.
And now we're done. Thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And White Lotus, this is what he says, White Lotus is in Bali. We can have a conversation about what we watch on TV, because I started the White Lotus and I just can't get through the first season. But you know, I'm like,
oh my goodness, it was. I loved it.
Oh, let's do a whole like what you watching on TV episode,
I
And
love
and
that.
and find maybe next week we'll do that. We'll do what you watch on TV and what is the spiritual lessons you're getting from your TV. Okay, that's what we're doing next week. See how that came up, Denise? You're helping us to program our show. Oh, that was a divine insight. Just caught that, God. Thank you, Denise, for helping us to program our show. Next week, we're talking about what you're watching on TV and are you getting a spiritual message from it? That's what we're doing. I love it.
Love it. Love it. It really can be that simple, right?
Yes. All right, y'all. Remember, transformation is a choice, and you chose today because you showed up for our show. I love you. We love you. And be kind and loving because the world needs you right now. The world needs kind and lovingness.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you.
Peace and blessings, everyone. Peace and blessings.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents The High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour with Reverend Cynthia and Reverend Skip. Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network.